Well, one of the emotional stories of the week, very sad for supporters of the sport of national hunt racing, but understandable. Noel Fehily is calling it a day, and we are delighted to have Noel on the line now. Noel, how has the reaction been since you announced it on Racing TV with Lydia 24 hours ago?
I suppose I'm glad it's out in the open now, and it's been a great reaction today and great support from a lot of people, and it's probably better now. It's all I've said it, and just get on with the next couple of weeks now, and then that'll be it.
As we watched you having the interview with Lydia, I think a lot of people were emotional watching you telling Lydia the story and trying to empathise with just how tough a decision it is for any jockey at any level, but someone in your particular at your particular status, you know, one of the top jockeys around perennially. So if you could just give us a little bit of an idea of how difficult a decision it was to come to.
It's always going to be difficult, and I knew that. But I suppose over the last few weeks, I think I was in hospital for a good while, and I wasn't very well, and then I suppose it didn't look like I was going to make it back for the end of the season, and that probably got me thinking that, you know, if I didn't make it back for the rest of the season, you know, would I want to get going again next season? And you know, I suppose that really got the thought process going to start. And then I did come back, and I was back riding, and I spoke to my wife from Clip, and spoke to my agent Chris Broad, who's a big part of it, and he's been very good to me over the years, and we kind of came up with a plan that if we did, we're lucky enough to have a winner at Cheltenham, then I'd probably announce it there.
Well, it worked out very well for you in the end. And the one thing we've spoken about since you made the announcement a few times on Racing TV is the fact that whenever you've questioned any other jockey about someone they admire in the weighing room, the person almost immediately that they choose is Noel Fehily. To receive the Guard of Honour from your weighing room colleagues at Cheltenham must have been a rather special and poignant moment for you.
Yeah, of course it was. They're the guys you work with every single day, and you know, we have a great time in the weighing room. That's probably a big part that I will miss. Luke Harvey always described it as it's like a pub with no beer, and that's exactly what it's like. The fun in there, and even today, you know, the balance. You know, we have an absolute ball in there, and the crack and the banter, and that's something I'm really going to miss, and to get a Guard of Honour from all the lads, you know, that was very special today.
And I guess, you know, Niall Hannity and Martin Dwyer alongside me in the studio, and obviously they will know as well as you just how much fun, camaraderie, support, banter there is in the weighing room. Do you ever worry about what's to come next and how quiet things will be, perhaps, in comparison to being in the weighing room on a daily basis?
I do worry about it, yeah. It's a big worry, but look, I hope I'll have plenty of things to do and keep myself busy, and I'll probably take a bit of time out for a couple of weeks and then see what happens next. But look, I'll try my best to keep myself busy, but nothing will ever replace the crack in the wear room every day. You know, it's 7 days a week. You're meeting the same people every day, and the fun that we have in there is just unbelievable. While it's very competitive on the racecourse, the crack in the wear room and the camaraderie it's a great place. It'd be hard to replace. Have
you set a date at this point for when you will eventually have that final ride?
No, I haven't. Because as I said yesterday, I haven't spoken to the people that I ride for regularly, and I want to speak to them over the next few days, and then probably make a plan from there. But I would, you know, it will be in the next couple of weeks. As I said, I haven't set a definite date, but I won't be dragging it out too long. I'm not. I don't want to keep talking about it forever. I just want to get on with it. And,
I think.
Right. Yeah, it'll happen sooner rather than later, I think.
One interesting point that you mentioned yesterday, why winning at the festival this year in the colours of Jared Sullivan, you said was very important to you. Obviously, you've had some great success in these colours, but perhaps you could just elaborate on that.
Yeah, he's been a great supporter of mine for probably, 10 plus years now. I've ridden a lot of very good horses for him. the likes of Siboney, Conti's, or Campbell. There's been some great horses, and some big days together. I've always been able to ride whatever I want to these horses, and we've had a great relationship and some great races along the way. Some very big days, and it was you probably couldn't have asked for a better way to do it yesterday. I'm one of his horses. I went into the day thinking I'd come down back off a really fancy kilometre in the handicap, and he was running away down the hill to the third lap and sadly got injured. And then I thought, oh, that's my chance gone. And to pop with a 50-1 shot for Jared Sutherland was just the perfect way to end the day, really.
It was a fairy tale success in the final. So when you were walking back in on this winner, did you know that you were going to announce your impending retirement?
Yeah, I did. As I said, it had been planned over the last few weeks, probably. Or maybe not that long, maybe 10 days or so. As I said, I had to walk with my agent, and my wife, and that. I knew if I had a winner at Cheltenham that I would announce it. And as soon as I got off Eglinton, I told Jared Sutherland, he was the first person I told, so that was it, really.
And Noel, your CV is incredible. Lots of big race success throughout the years. What would be the highlights? Would there be one that stood out above all else?
It's very difficult to highlight one. I think probably Cheltenham, the Champion Hurling, the Champion Chase. They were great days. And the King George, it's probably second King George, the day that really stand out. That was a fantastic to win it back-to-back King George. It was just unbelievable. And but I suppose you'd have to say two Champion Hurlers and the King George, not as the Champion Chase. They were great days. So they'll always be the races that I would probably remember the most, probably.
Yeah. A lot has obviously changed during your entire riding career, Noel, but the one thing that hasn't has been your position as one of the most respected and well-loved and talented riders in the weighing room. So we thank you very much for joining us on behalf of everybody on the Friday Club on Racing TV. Congratulations on a fabulous career. Keep it going till the end, obviously. But of course, now that you've got retirement in mind, there's always a slot for you on the Friday Club. We'll just chuck Niall out and you can sit in that seat if you would agree to do it.
You can't chuck Niall out. He's the main man. We used to sit this on together.
Well, we can't actually chuck him out because he's a big lad now.
Yeah, just don't let yourself go, Noel. Nothing annoys me more than overweight ex-jump jockeys.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll slip a little bit.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much for joining us. We'll hopefully see you on the Friday Club in time to come. And enjoy the last few weeks, however long you choose, in the saddle.
Great. Thank you very much.